Grade 8.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of PICK6 podcast. I'm your host, Musa. I got my guy, Ace, making a shocking appearance on the show. We got Mike here. We got my boy, Clips, man. How y'all doing today?
Doing good. How are y'all?
Doing good, man. Appreciate it.
Real quick, man, if you're watching, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment down below. We're 7 subs away from 200 subs, so please make sure you hit that subscribe button. Real quick, fellas, let's give a moment of silence to TikTok.
We gotta check to see if it's really dead.
Oh no, it's dead.
Oh, it's dead.
Yeah, I don't know. Hold on.
If you go to the app, now. It says you close up. Yeah, for now.
You know, Trump has his ways. But anyway, we got a lot to talk about, man. We're gonna talk about the games from last weekend as well as last night's 2 divisional games. We had a shocker for most people. Size with the Commanders beating the Lions. And we're gonna get into the quarterback tier list. I think this is the perfect day to start our final quarterback tier list for the season. And we got tonight's MVP rematch, potential MVP rematch. So, real quick, I'm going to show the updated Pick'em standings. And for those who are new to the show, these Pick'em standings is based off myself, Mike, Ty, and Clips is picks for the games of the week. And currently, here's the point spread. After going into this Sunday's games, we got myself in the lead with 485. Clips is at 479. Mike at 442. Peso at 440. And Ty at 404. These are the current spreads current points going into today's games. So it's a tight race, man. We got a couple more weeks left. Peso with a comment already saying TikTok is up now. We're going to find out in a moment. But we're going to start off with the game last night.
I'm on TikTok right now. I don't know if I'm on the clear web on it, but I'm on it.
All right. Well, we're going to start with the game, the biggest game last night, the surprising game. The Commanders going to Detroit and beat Detroit 45-31. Jaden Daniels had a great game last night, 22 for 31. 1 yard short for 300 yards, 2 touchdowns. He also ran for 51 yards. Goff had a blunder, 23 for 40, 313 yards. A lot of that was garbage time at the end of the game. 1 touchdown pass, 3 interceptions, plus the fumble. Kind of ruined the game that Jahmyr Gibbs had because Jahmyr Gibbs was balling last night, 14 carries for 105 yards, 2 touchdowns. But the Lions, the number 1 seed Lions, 15 wins Lions, have been outed in this year's playoffs. Real quick, the NFC North, I believe, is 40-11 this season, and all 3 teams have lost their first playoff game this year. So, I'm gonna put that out there. I'd love to hear you guys' thoughts on this Commanders-Lions game from last night.
Yeah,
No,
you can go, Ace.
Oh no, I was just gonna say, well, thank you guys for having me on the football segment. I appreciate it. I'm just gonna say that I believe that the Lions possibly looked down on the Commanders a little bit. That's not going to take away from the Commanders' hard work. However, you got to treat every game like it's your last, and ironically, it was their last. Jaden Daniels is a young talent who is going to be a bright star in this league, as he proved last night.
There we go.
Yes, Ty. Mike, you can go right along. What are your thoughts on this game?
I think, don't get me wrong, I think Jaden Daniels is a good quarterback for sure, but I think we're giving him a little bit too much love right now. Let's see after next year how he is. Make sure he doesn't have the year 2 regression like Stroud, but Commanders' defense, basically, I think what pushed them over the edge in this game, getting 5 turnovers, because look down there, they were in scoring range for 2 of the picks and 1 of the fumbles. And then the other pick that was on the other side of the field got brought back for a touchdown. So right there alone, that's a 28-point swing if we're talking touchdowns. So that's huge right there. And one thing that concerns me with the Commanders, though, is Gonzalez, their kicker. We saw him doink it in the last round and missed the kick in the fourth quarter. He will be what holds them back from Super Bowl, possibly, if it comes down to a big kick. But some things that I really like that the Commanders are doing. You saw last week against Tampa, they play 11 personnel for the most part, which basically just has the one tight end. They switched it up with the 12 last night with 2 tight ends, and then they would have different packages against the Bucks where they would swap out the receivers on a rotation. Last night they played a completely different style where they just had basically the same receivers in with Brown and McLaurin. I think they use Zacchaeus a little bit, I believe his name is, but yeah, I think another thing too with the Lions, like that's pretty much all I got on the Commanders. I'm curious to see who they play next round. If they play the Eagles, I hope they win. If it's the Rams, I'll probably root for the Rams. But the Lions, I think the 2 coordinators were much more focused on getting their next job than getting ready for this game.
I will. So just to add on to your point, just so as everyone that's watching and everyone on the show's understanding, you're giving the Commanders defense more credit, despite them still giving up 31 points. Because of the turnovers in the field position, is you will still give them the edge as them being the more important side of the ball in last night's game.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to do that because we understand. I think the Vikings game fooled us a little bit because leading up to the weeks before the Vikings game, what was Peso say? I said he's good. I'm just saying we're going overboard with him a little bit. That's all. Because you look before the Vikings game, the 49ers, I believe, like against the Dolphins, they only score 17, 18 points. And then the next week, they put up 30, 40 points on the Lions with a few turnovers. So with half that defense being out, all he's doing really is just playing clean football. They didn't have any turnovers against Tampa, and they didn't have any turnovers last night. And as we talked about before, this golden age quarterback era stuff, and I think it's the quarterback plays the worst it's ever been. All he's doing is just playing good, clean football, and that shows how far he can get you because most guys can't even do it in the league now. So as I said, he's good, but let's see after year 2 how he looks.
Ty, Clips, any thoughts on the game before we can even debunk what Mike was saying? What up, Ty? I see you. I see who you got going for the Super Bowl.
Of course. But honestly, last night's game, the Commanders just beat the Lions at their own game. That's pretty much what you can say. I didn't expect them to always go for it on 4th. But after that, honestly, after they just kept getting it. And we usually see that from the Detroit Lions and Dan Campbell, and it just really just smacked them in the mouth. But honestly, I told you guys how I feel about Jared Goff. Back when he was a Ram, we didn't call him Goff. We called him Goof. 3 points in the Super Bowl. We knew his ceiling. He's the only guy that can make you sit there and be like, oh, the Commanders' defense is nice.
Thank you, Tom. Because they still scored 31 points. I'm like, I don't
Exactly.
I don't know how much faith I have in that defense.
But the only point, not the only point, but a point I agree with Mike. I believe the coordinators, especially when it comes to looking for interviewing for these head coaching jobs, they could get a little distracted. And it looks like that's what it has been. Brian Flores interviewed. Vikings defense couldn't do anything.
Now, Aaron Glenn and Ben Johnson, to your point, I can interview for jobs for head coaching vacancies this week since they lost last night.
Yeah,
so, in-person interviews. They've already been doing virtual.
Yeah, they did the virtual, but
definitely. Clips, Mr. JD, I see.
Finally put a real quarterback up in his thumbnail. It's about time.
Yo, wow. We're not finna disrespect Shador, bro. We're not finna do that, bro. We're not finna do that, bro. Don't do that. We'll see do that, bro. Let's talk
about Jaden.
He is a real quarterback. Shador is definitely most top a real quarterback.
We'll find out sooner enough.
First I want to give shout outs to the Commanders. Y'all played a hell of a fucking game. To me, I had the Lions winning. But the Lions shot themselves in their foot, like Todd said. Jared Booth, bruh, 3 turnovers, including a fumble. That was more of old Jared Goff. That's what I was used to seeing. I remember when I think a couple episodes a while back earlier in the season when I was saying Jared Goff. I mean, he's cool, but I still think he's mid. This is kind of that point. When the lights is bright, that boy just he just played a little timid. Jahmyr Gibbs balling. He was running hard.
I will concede to Mike. Gibbs is definitely top 2.
I got him best running back in the league, but that's just me.
He was balling. But I will say the Commanders' defense, they got timely stops. And that is very key in football. Yes, they still got 31 points hung on them, but when they needed those stops, they got them. Shout out to the offensive coordinator for the Commanders,
Cliff Kingsbury.
Yep, 4th and 2 king. I guess fourth down king. I guess any 4th and 2, they went for it except for one that they messed up with bum ass Marcus Mariota, but that wasn't his fault, to be honest.
It just makes me nervous with these 4th and 2s in playoff games when you can get the points. But
yeah, but shout out to him for going for it and them getting it every trip. That's how you keep pressure on defenses. That's how you keep them on the field. You keep them on the field, get them tired, and it opened up a lot of things for the Commanders. They was running a 2-wide receiver. They didn't really use the Zacchaeus last night. But
didn't he get hurt? His groin?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But what is Buddy's name?
Noah Brown.
Yes.
Naomi Brown.
Naomi Brown and Terry McLaurin.
Terry.
At one point, they was just running deep crosses across the field, and for some reason, the Lions would just lose track of them. And it's like, I mean, some had to give, and the Lions. I'm not gonna blame the Lions defense. They was out on. I felt like they was just out on the field a little too long. Goff didn't get them that much time to rest. So yeah, shout out to the Commanders. Definitely a surprising win to me. I thought it was gonna be a way closer game, but they put belt to ass. So I can't be mad at it.
Yeah. My thoughts on the game. I think the key things of that game was Goff's turnovers, because that was forced. I'm not going to count the last pick at the end of the game because the game was already over. So, but the other picks and the fumble, those are costly. The 4th down conversions by the Commanders were key. All in all, I just think the Commanders, like Ty said, just played a better game than the Lions have been doing all year. This is what the Lions have been doing to teams all year, and it shouldn't have. Which is why I should just went with the Commanders like I was going to last week. Because if you watch the Commanders all year, this is what they've been doing. They've been putting up points on teams. They're one of the highest scoring teams in the league for a reason. So them putting up the points that they did doesn't and shouldn't surprise most people. It's just because of how dominant the Lions have been. Including myself, which is why I picked the Lions. I didn't expect that defense to get the stops that they did. I will say Goff did help the Lions defense by throwing the ball the way he did, because there's a lot of times in those picks where he was just antsy, he was trying to throw it to force the play into somebody, and he just throw a check down and throw it away. And then the pressure got to him. And I agree with you, Clips. I feel like the defense, I still want to give some respect to that defense because Aaron Glenn was coaching his ass off all year with all those injuries on that defense. 16 inactives for the year for Detroit, and about 9 or 10 of them was all on defense. Like, you're out there playing with third and fourth string DBs.
So that's why I can't really get mad at the Lions defense. But they had a lot of missing pieces, but
I still gotta give credit to the Commanders
because they kept them out there on the field.
They did what they play. Who's in front of them? So But any lasting thoughts? Any pushback on anyone's comments on this game before we move on to the other earlier game?
I just want to say too, I understand the Lions had injuries this season. However, they still had a very impressive record with what they've been doing and dealing with. So somebody got to win, somebody got to lose, and that's what any sport is. I mean, I don't have a favorite in that game. I honestly expected the Lions to win in a close game. However, I was wrong on that. Such
Shout
is
out to
life, such
Two
is
Glove
sports.
Teddy, by the way.
Yeah, one thing I just wanted to point out that I know I think Ty and Clips both brought it up with them going for it on fourth down. I know I said it in the group chat during the wild card game. They're a very analytically driven team, and that's why I sort of said about the packages they were using before. They're doing like a money ball thing over there, like they did in Oakland. Obviously, it didn't work for them to win a championship. We'll see if it works for the Commanders, but them being analytically driven, anything that's you see as 4th and 2 and field goal range or short, they're going to go for it every time because these guys that run the numbers in their mind, those field goals are only worth 1.5 points. I'm not saying I agree with it, but that's just the way they think. So they think the defense will never benefit in the long run for them, even for them kicking the field goals. So we're not going to see them kicking field goals on 4th and 1, 4th and 2 in any of these games upcoming.
Yep, yes, sir. And for those who are more on the basketball side of things, to put it in basketball terms, think of what the analytics for football, with the 4th and short and field goal range being the efficiency. Someone who shoots more threes and makes it at a more efficient rate is going to be more efficient. Someone that shoots the 3 less and adds on the 2s and stuff like that. So that's what that basically all ties into. I think it's stupid, but that's another conversation for another day. Moving on, we're going to talk about the Chiefs and Texans game, the earlier game. Chiefs win 23-14. Mahomes and the Chiefs are now 7-0 in divisional round games, and now they are heading to a 7th straight AFC championship game. 6 straight hosting, by the way. So they'll be watching the evening game today to figure out who will be coming to Kansas City between the Ravens or the Bills. But CJ Stroud was 19-28, 245 yards. He ran for 42 yards as well. Joe Mixon had a good game with 18 carries for 88 yards and a touchdown. Nico Collins had 5 for 81, as well as Dalton Schultz had 4 catches for 63 yards. Travis Kelce, 7 catches for 117 yards and a touchdown. He turned back the clock. Even though he runs like he got a pound of bricks on his back, no one can still find a way to get him down. Mahomes, 16 for 25 with 177 yards and a touchdown. And the run game was collectively 22 carries for 50 yards. What do you guys' thoughts on this game? Will the Chiefs be able to go back to the Super Bowl and get a chance to three-peat? And what's next for the Texans? Anyone can start.
Well, first off, I just want to say, of course, with Taylor Swift there, you know he was going to turn up. I just want to say how I'm not, no disrespect to the NFC. I'm new to the football segment. However, the AFC has just been like game after game, because even the Bills and the Ravens game is going to look like a good game. Then the winner of that has to see the Chiefs. Like, it's going to be a real road to greatness. Some of these games might look Super Bowl ready.
Pace, to help you understand, the AFC is like the Western Conference, basically. How you will view the Western Conference.
I see. I see that now. But yeah, I just want to say Taylor Swift there, automatic boost for Kelce. That play, that juke move looks slow. I just feel like the Texans defense was always like almost there. Like, it was like one step away from some of the tackles and things like that. It was a slow start. However, Kansas City, they locked in and did what they had to. I felt like, honestly, at one point, Texans had momentum to possibly try to put up more of a fight. Well, let me not say more of a fight. Not like they just got completely blown out, but I just expected the game to go differently.
I think the Chiefs honestly could have blown them out by 30-plus points if they wanted to, but they chose not to, because look what they were running on offense. It was really, really simple stuff. Like the one with Kelce, they run that play all the time, and there was no one back other than one safety. So I don't know. They didn't show too much. I think they could have been much more, but look at how important special teams was, because really special teams cost the Texans the game here. That missed 50-yarder at the end of the first half sort of changed the dynamic of the game. But hey, man, I really think Patrick Mahomes will be a proud father watching both of his sons play today. That's all I'm going to say.
That is funny. But to your point, Mike, I feel like with somebody like the
A
Chiefs, and they
proud
know
father is crazy.
a proud father is really insane, though. I just feel like, to your point, why would I show my arsenal if I know I'm going to be in the next round? Because teams are going to be looking at their certain sets they ran and be comfortable with. So I don't blame the Chiefs for not willing to hold off some of their good plays a little bit. The proud father comment though is hilarious though. That's a clip.
We'll be watching the game with Christian Cage.
Anyone else on the game?
Shout out to the Chiefs, man. I was going for the Texans. Texans. I'm a big CJ Stroud fan. I love the Texans. I feel like the defense, they had great stops in great moments. I just felt like there were certain plays where they just had brain farts. Um, to the offensive point for the Texans, yeah, we lost Tank Dell. Diggs was out as well. Shout out Joe Mixon. He was running hard. He was really balling. But I noticed, I'm not gonna say the ref officiating. I wasn't gonna blame officiating, even though some questionable calls. But special teams definitely killed the game. And then once you're down to the Chiefs, you have to play very, very fast to get the ball back. Because once they're up, that is a slow grind that they're gonna grind the ball out. They're gonna run the ball. Shout out to Pacheco and Kareem Hunt. Definitely Kareem Hunt. Once they got that lead, their run game was pretty solid for some parts, but Patrick Magic Mahomes is what I like to call him, because he literally, like, every playoff you're gonna just see a magical throw that he's just gonna make. Whether it be with his left hand falling down on a knee, whatever it is, he's gonna make a throw. He's gonna make a magical play. Shout out to them. The Texans, I just get healthy, man. Hopefully, CJ Stroud, he looked pretty banged up. He looked like he hurt his knee pretty bad at the beginning of the game. Even though he played through it. But yeah, we just got to get healthy, man. Just get healthy. Hopefully next year CJ can have a better season statistically. Even though he had a bad season statistically this year, they still was what 10-7, I believe, or something like that.
10-7.
So that's not bad. I'll take the record. I'll take what we did with it. We'll just have to build on it. Hope get him healthy. Get the team healthy and see what happens. But when you're going up against the big fat lady and the Chiefs, America's
lady, that's crazy.
Not like that, you know what I mean? Like,
I know what you're talking about.
And when you have, no disrespect, when you have America's favorite women on camera, it always, not one, but you had both of America's favorite women on camera.
And Caitlin Clark was there too, man.
You feel me? Like, once they started throwing both of them, I kind of knew it was over. I'm like, yeah, it's over.
Kelsey took off from there.
Next week's gonna be Swift and Reese. Better be careful.
I was gonna say Reese ain't gonna chill with her. Come on, man. She knows better than that.
Reese loved the Swifties.
Really? I didn't know that.
CJ Stroud hurt his knees and proceeded to scramble for the first down. So that was a way to play through it, be there for your team. I just saw a lot of drop passes by some of these receivers, and I'm like, granted, I'm not in the field with them. I'm not under the helmet. However, this is your profession. Certain times, I feel like it comes down to effort. This is the playoffs. Show you want it.
I also want to give credit to Trent McDuffie, because I don't think people talk about him enough as one of the best corners in the league. I really wish the Chiefs wasn't cheap and they would have paid Lindarius Sneed, because I think him and Sneed and McDuffie together last year was trouble for most of these receivers. And McDuffie is proven why he's one of the top 5 corners in the league, in my opinion. But Ty, I'll let you hear your thoughts on this game.
Yeah, you're not gonna beat the Chiefs when you get sacked 8 times. That's just it. Honestly, the the reason why the Chiefs offense just looked like just him, Kelsey, and Worthy at some time is because they did, like you guys all said, they didn't need to do anything. Their defense was winning them this ball game.
Literally.
Then the kicker missing
The extra
pretty
point.
much two field goals and an extra point.
That's a touchdown right there.
Yeah, you just really, he really just prevented the game from being close. But
Also, go ahead, Tom. My bad. Go ahead.
I think my last point. I just think it's a no-brainer that the Chiefs is going back to the Super Bowl. So it doesn't matter who wins.
That's where you lose
tonight. I feel like Chiefs are going back to the Super Bowl.
I agree.
Oh, shout out to the defensive coordinator for throwing Chris Jones at the end position.
He done that a few times too.
That was, he did. But this game really showed how smart of a position move that was in certain plays. Like putting him at the end was like, I don't know. I love watching the D line. So like putting him at the D end was really like eye opening to like show how versatile and how great of a lineman he really is.
Well, to piggyback on that, because that was where I was going to first start off my point, which is why I wanted to give credit to McDuffie first. In the DC, for those who don't know, the DC for the Kansas City Chiefs is Steve Spagnuolo. Do y'all think he is going to be one of the first? Because I can't think of time myself. I believe he will be the first coordinator to be a first ballot, if not a Hall of Famer overall. Because the thing he's been doing with the Chiefs on this 7-year run is like second to none almost. Like he's been on an elite run with this defense. I don't see how he can't be a Hall of Famer when it's also even if he doesn't become a head coach.
Well, he was a head coach before and it didn't work out so well. So that's the one thing that could hold him back. But one thing I just want to say to Clips's point too, you talked about the move Chris Jones over. They moved Joe Tooney to I believe it was guard to tackle. Yesterday too. So they did that on both sides of the ball.
My takeaway of the game, obviously officiating was piss poor. And it was key plays that ruined it. I think it was a third down when they called that roughing the passer on Mahomes when they didn't touch him at all. That was a big because they ended up going down and scoring. Another flag led to the Kelsey touchdown wide open, which again, I just don't see. I don't know what I said in the private chat. I don't know what Houston's defense was doing, leaving the middle wide open like that. And Mahomes was able to just throw a dot while falling right through the middle of in the red zone. The run game for Kansas City was non-existent. 22 runs for 50 yards. But it's not going to be talked about because they was able to put up points on short field and the defense was able to get 8 sacks. So that's a concern for me because if the run game is not there, I don't think a Baltimore and a Buffalo defense is going to just allow you to get beat by Kelsey alone. I don't see them doing that like Houston was able to. Could we look at most of the game? I don't think anyone else had a reception until late in the game outside of Kelsey for a while. Like Kelsey was the offense. And I get it. He's someone that does broken plays a lot, broken routes, and that's why him and Holmes got that connection. But if you look at Baltimore and Buffalo, if they're telling themselves, okay, we're going to have the run game give them 50 yards on 22 attempts, and the only person else is beating us really is on Kelsey, they're going to take that. And I don't think they're going to make the key mistakes some of the Houston team was making as far as like pass protection and things of that nature. But I do want to give Kansas City credit. They able to protect home field. They got to do it for one more week and get back to the Super Bowl. But I think it's Lamar's time. I think there's going to be the Ravens. But we're going to talk about that later in the show when we get to our predictions. So any last thoughts on this game before we get into the quarterback tier list?
Nah, not really. Shout out to them boys and KC, you know, when you pay the refs a lot of money.
Oh, here we go.
No, I'm playing. I'm trolling.
See, the second one too. What was it when he was sliding there and they threw the flag on that when there was no contact? I understand the flag on that one more than the other one though, because you
That's
got
what I was referring to, Mike. Yep.
Yeah, because you got two guys spearheading each other at the quarterback. Just because based off the intent, I think you got to throw a flag there. The other one, I don't know. That's because that's the helmet to helmet, the one that I don't agree with. Just any contact, the helmet whatsoever, the quarterback. But the other one, I sort of agree with because two guys just going head first at the quarterback's a little reckless.
But you got to understand, though, Mike, the pushback on that. As a defender who's on the go 24/7, and it's hard to stop yourself full speed. It's not fair to the defender where you have a quarterback or whoever is with the ball just running around trying to do this and that, playing around. Then you want to slide last second. Like it's only the defender can only do so much. And we seen, and I said it last week, if you breathe on Mahomes wrong, they're gonna call that pass, that roughing the passer. What we seen last night, what Jaden Daniels is getting knocked off a couple times, and they didn't call it at all. Even last week, when he got helicoptered, they didn't even call the roughing the passer. So I understand your point with the intent. But also, when you have a rule in place where you can look back at flags and change the flag, and when you look back at the replay where they didn't even touch them, they collided with each other. And especially a crucial point in that part of the game is I just didn't agree with the call.
And shout out to Mahomes for flopping.
He does that every game.
But you say magical Mahomes. I just thought it was interesting. And here's a funny fact for like America and those watching: Texans had more yards than the Chiefs. Believe it or not, 336.
He was moving the ball.
To 212. Texans had more first downs than the Chiefs. Texans ran more plays than the Chiefs. Texans led with the possession of the ball. Texans had the ball 33 minutes, 26 seconds. Chiefs had the ball 26 minutes, 34 seconds. Texans had 9 drives. Chiefs had 9 drives. It's about, the opportunity. So,
yeah. But one of the big things that you didn't mention with all of that is also even Houston having more time of possession. The key thing about it was that the Chiefs was able to put points up when they had the ball, and they had better field.
I mean, but that's what I'm saying. You gotta make use of what you have. So
that being able to flip the field the way they were was allowed them to get to capitalize, unlike the Houston was able to do. But
Texans can't play from behind either. What did they say that stat was? D'Amico Ryans is 0-8 when they get down by 8 or more points, something like that. So even if they outgain them on the yards, once they're behind, they're screwed.
Pacer said the flop and def needs to seize. Don't want that type of play to be reflected on future plays coming into the league. They've been doing this flopping stuff for a couple seasons now.
Yeah.
I'm not mad at it because it's ways to bait. And we know, like I just said a few points earlier, as a defender, when you're running full speed, it's hard to stop on a dime and stop all your speed like that. So him stopping, I didn't like it, but I understand why he did it, if that makes sense. But I agree, though. You don't want future quarterbacks coming in the league doing that. Once people start getting more, what's the word I'm looking for? Ideas of how to get flag bait, basically. I agree. Just take away from the game a bit. I agree for sure. Ace, you said you're gonna kind of hold back on this quarterback list because you didn't watch too much football throughout the season. So unless you still want to join, I'll happily still have you join the list.
Man, he should join. You can tell quarterbacks is trash or not, bro.
Oh yeah, I ain't gonna hold you. I'm gonna start. I know who's trash already, and I got my quarterback in list. My team's quarterback, double trash. You hear me? Got fired on his day off. How trash he was.
So for sure, man, we got 4 tiers for the quarterback tier list this year. This is for the overall season, the final quarterback list. We have elite, great, solid, which I might just put mid, actually, and then the last tier is trash. So it's 4 tiers. We're gonna do spin the wheel to decide who goes first in the order and things of that nature. So let me share my screen. Have everyone's names up here. All right. So this will determine the order for the tier list. First person going first is Ty. So Ty will be going first.
And the first quarterback will be Jared Goff. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm going to put the order in the private chat. So that way, if we forget, we can always revert back to that. Next name on the list to go next will be Clips. Ty, Clips. Thank God this ain't a draft. Mike will be next.
I was going to say, you should have more confidence in your drafting ability. It doesn't matter about position, it's how you draft.
Oh no, I'm fine with it because if we're doing Snake, I'll happily go last because Ace is next. So that's perfect. Ace and then myself. So the list is Ty, Clips, Mike, Ace, and then myself will be going. So that is the tier list order. Now I'm going to share my screen for the tier list, and we're going to get right into it. I'm just going to zoom in a little bit, though. Perfect. Let me scroll down so we can see that first row. Let me try to get this ad out the way. If I can. There we go. No, can't. All right. The ad's going to be there, I guess. Ty, your first name is Kyler Murray.
Well, too bad there's only 4 options because he's in between like mid and great, but I gotta put Kyler Murray.
I can make another tier if y'all want. I could put solid if that would be easier.
Nah, it's fine. Put him at mid because it's not. From what I've seen this season, hasn't been great.
And just so people understand, if you're at the top of a tier, that means you're closer to getting to that next tier. So if you're at the bottom of the tier, you're closer to the tier that's below. Just so everyone's understanding. Next is Clips. You have your boy Kurt.
I ain't gonna hold you. He went 18 and 16 this season with 3,500 yards or something like that. I'm throwing him at mid. Okay, he had a good start to the year, but I'm gonna throw him at mid.
Is he ahead or behind Kyler?
I'll throw him. Hold on, let me see.
Mike's next. This is nasty.
I'll throw him behind Kyler.
Ty, you were so close. You were so close to getting your boy. Mike, you have Bryce Young. Be nice to Bryce.
No, I'll be nice. Yeah, he was a bottom of barrel trash barrel quarterback before he's worked his way to the top of the barrel. Throw him right at the top of the trash.
Ace, you have Dak Prescott.
I want to say trash, honestly.
You want him ahead of Bryce or behind him?
Honestly, I'll put him behind. No, I'll put him in front. He had a slightly better record, but no, you know what? He has more experience, so I'll put him behind. He should know better.
He was hurt for the rest of the year. I don't think he played like 3 or 4 games anyway.
For some of those games and performances, man, he should have been doing better than that.
Myself, I have Jared Goff, of course. I'll be honest though. Last night's game is whatever, but he has been one of the better quarterbacks of the league this season. So I put him in great at least. He ain't elite, but he's in great. And
What does he need to be elite?
Consistency. When it comes to not like he'll have a game like he did last night where he wets the bed, and then he'll go a game where he's like 18 to 18, 300 yards, no turnovers. Like we need.
That's elite. That's not elite. He was second in the league this year for yards. Had a good completion percentage.
Yeah, he had all of that, but at the same time, I'll be honest. The only people that's going to be in elite is about 4 quarterbacks. Everyone else is going to be in great or below.
My thing is this: for what he did this season, he wouldn't be considered elite. Or
I put him in great.
I'm new here. I'm sorry.
No. It ain't about being new. Based on what he
for that completion rate and for all the injuries they had, Second
Most
in
of
the
it was on
league
the
in
defense.
Second in the league in passing yards.
Yeah, but he also still had his key players on the offensive side of the ball with Montgomery and Gibbs. The O line was great. He had his weapons on the outside. I'll give him. He had a great season,
They
but
lost 2 games.
yeah, they did.
3.
But
We lost last night.
Well,
did,
yeah.
but,
Well, I'm
for what it's
counting
worth,
regular season, but
for what it's worth, watching the tape and things like that, I wouldn't consider him having an elite
now for my
season or being
question
elite.
is Mahomes of this season was Mahomes elite?
His stats will say no, but I think he's still one of the elite quarterbacks this season.
But
Well,
golf stats says elite. And
it's more than the stats, though.
Yeah, I'm looking at the tape. I would still give Mahomes a slight nod over him.
Okay.
Not slight, but Ty, you was close, but you got Jordan Love.
He's kind of great.
Unless you want to make a trade with Clips, because Clips is next. It's up to y'all.
Nah, it's fine because I know where I would put Matthew Stafford, but I'm not gonna have that discussion right now. So we'll do Jordan Love. I'll put him at great, behind Goff.
Ahead. You got him behind Goff?
Yeah.
Clips, you got Matthew Stafford.
I ain't gonna hold you. I really liked Matthew Stafford's year, bro. No bull. I got him at great. I ain't gonna lie.
Ahead or behind Goff?
I personally like him better than Goff, but
I do too, but
I'm gonna put him behind Goff, but right there. But I personally like him better than Jared Goff for sure.
Mike, don't be biased. You're up. Oh, word. Damn, I'm getting some shitty ass quarterbacks.
I am up.
You have Sam Darnold.
He's mid.
Biased.
Yeah, put him behind Kirk Cousins.
He was better than Kirk Cousins. Stop this.
I don't think so.
Order, but okay. You have him mid. I think he was better than.
They're interchangeable. We want them the same.
I put him at the top, but I'm not mad at that pick. Ace. Would you like to trade? Because you can get your quarterback if you like. I'm okay with that. I'm getting a shitty pick either way. But you have Derek Carr. David.
We'll switch.
Okay, so I got Derek Carr. I almost called him his brother David, but I got Derek Carr. I'll put him in mid behind Darnold.
What, bro? What?
I wanted to hear a reaction now. I got him at the top of trash. Golf.
I'm not mad at him.
Nah,
As long as he's got a clean
Bryce,
pocket,
bro.
he's okay.
Behind Bryce, bro. Nah.
You think Bryce was better than Carr?
Name me just name me 2 things Derek Carr did this season.
He sat on the bench a lot.
I can name you 2 plays from Bryce Young. I can't name you 2 plays.
What when it was like 3-1 in the start of the season?
They started 2-0. That was it.
Okay, so with the comment, they both trash. It don't matter about a trade. It do because I don't want to pick Daniel Jones. I'm getting enough badass quarterbacks. But Ace, it's on you now. You have your guy.
The end of trash. You hear me? Beyond it. You hear me? He got fired on his day off. He gave up on the team. Beyond trash. You can put him all the way at the end. Drag it further. Put him next to the widget, the settings widget. Yes, put him all the way down there. If you can leave him down there, please. You hear me? And I'm saying that from the soul, brother.
For those who are new to seeing Ace on the football channel, he's typically on the basketball episodes. He is a Giants fan. He's also a Lakers fan, so you can take it for what it's worth.
Football episode. That didn't have to be commentary.
But Ty, it's back on you. You got Jalen Hurts.
He's great. I don't take no Jalen Hurts slander, Mike.
Where in great would
because if we got Jared Goff in the great, Jalen Hurts is in the great. That's all I'm saying.
I would agree.
Yeah,
I'm gonna stand on my 10. I put Goff in great. You're damn right. This season, yes. But what would you put Hurts? In between? I don't think he's been better than Stafford.
Yeah, I'll put him right there.
He hasn't been better than Stafford.
No.
Hell no.
Okay.
No. You put Stafford on that Philly offense. Shit. I mean, the run game takes a hit because he's not the runner like Hurts is. But you won't be having AJ Brown complaining about passing. I'll tell you that much.
I just want to know when we're judging these quarterbacks, are we going off of record or individual stats? Is it a collective?
I look in stats and records, sure, but also look at their field of play and what's around them too. That's why I didn't put Goff in elite, because yes, he has the stats and he has the weapons around him, and of course, players with weapons are going to enhance their play. But also watching him, he has more games like he did last night than he does opposite. So, and I just want to know, Mike and Ty in clips, because y'all have been consistently here. Where the hell's all them Detroit fans at? Remember a few episodes ago when we had the Detroit, so we had all them people in the comments about Detroit. I don't see them now.
They might have off themselves after last night, man.
Clips, man, you got Brock Purdy.
Who?
Not too much, man. Not too much.
No game manager?
Not too much.
I'm throwing him, no cap. I'm throwing him in mid, no bull.
Okay. I wanted to make sure we was on. I was hoping you wasn't gonna say trash.
Wait. Who did you put him behind? Who's that right there?
Sam Darnold.
Nah, you put him.
Go ahead and lie.
Yeah, nah. You put him right there. You put him right there. I was gonna say put him above Sam.
I was about to say.
I kind of messed with Sam. What Sam was doing this year. So
that's what I'm trying to tell you. And we can always revisit at the end of the tier list, but I'm trying to tell y'all. I think at where we're at currently in the tier list, Sam should be at the top of mid.
I think Daniel Jones will do the same thing that Sam did next year if they have him start in Minnesota.
Yeah, man. We got another comment, man. We got young native Tino 64. Chiefs Lions Super Bowl my ass. Hey.
As long as it's the Chiefs, that's all that matters to him.
Yeah, hopefully your Chiefs get Tyreek Hill back, but we appreciate the comment.
No, they don't want him back, trust me.
Shit, don't let Mahomes tell you that. I bet you Mahomes will take Tyreek Hill back.
I don't think so. They got rid of him for a reason.
But they got rid of. That's another conversation. We don't indulge in that. Clips just went. So Mike, you got Geno. They didn't write back Geno.
If Hurts and Love are up there, I think Geno's great.
Fair enough.
Put him behind him, not ahead of him, but
behind Hurts and Love.
Yeah.
Ace, you got big. Yo, why in the fuck am I getting these quarterbacks?
I got you.
You have Baker Mayfield.
I'll put him in great.
Ahead or behind Geno?
That's up to y'all to decide. I'm not doing all that.
I'd put him ahead of Geno for sure.
I'm just here so I don't get fined.
I guess ahead of Geno's fine. Ty, you can go ahead because I'm not wasting time on this. He barely played. Like, why am I?
You could
Daniel Jones at the end.
Yo, what? This is nasty.
Let's stay consistent.
Marcus Mariota is not better than Daniel Jones.
Daniel Jones quit on his day off. He's at the end.
Ty, we got our first elite quarterback, so
yeah, you might as well move
got 3 of them in a row.
Yeah,
we do got 3 of them in a row. Clips, we got him ahead or behind Lamar.
How you gonna just pick for Clips? What if you want to put him in great?
No, Josh Allen is elite, man. You tripping? He elite.
There's only 4 elite quarterbacks.
To be real, I'm gonna be 100 with you, right? This season, he's only going behind Lamar because Lamar threw 41 touchdowns. 41 touchdowns.
Mike, you got Joe Shiesty.
Yeah, put him at the bottom of elite. He ain't better than either one of them.
I ain't gonna hold you.
You can make the argument. Ace, you got Deshaun Watson. Yo, what the fuck?
He's good.
Who's that? Brock Osweiler?
He's mid. Deshaun.
I'll help you, Ace. Deshaun's in trash. He's in the trash.
Okay, never mind then.
Nah, what you gonna say, Ace? Where you want him at? Where you want him at?
I think he's gonna put him in good.
I put him in mid, but
Mid.
all right, he's trash.
Nah, you can put him in mid. That's just your pick. You want him in mid?
Yeah, put him in
No,
mid.
I don't want to get crucified on. I don't want to get kicked off on my first day.
Clips, you are being nasty as fuck putting him in mid.
That's what Ace was gonna say. He was gonna say mid. You said trash.
He also said we can help him. We know damn well Deshaun is not mid. He has not.
Deshaun's talent is better than everybody.
Deshaun ain't better. Deshaun hasn't been better than none of them quarterbacks in the bottom besides Mariota because he don't even play.
He's been better than Daniel Jones.
No.
Actually, yeah.
No.
No. Bro, once you quit,
and I've been trying to hold on to this Deshaun Watson. Like I've been trying to hold on because I really want him to do well, especially everything he's been dealing with off the field. Some of it's his own doing, but I'm talking about his family situation more so. But I can't excuse the play, bro. Like,
I can't lie. Golf at the top of great is still like.
Peso, Watson is trash. The fuck we doing here? In Musa's voice.
Hey, you know what? You're right, America. Put him in trash, please. I'm gonna get kicked off. I'm gonna get fired. I'm gonna get.
You ain't gonna get kicked up. Hey, Peso ain't hosting. This is the football. Peso ain't hosting. You ain't kicked off.
Put him at the top of trash. We moving him. I still say we should. I still say we should move Goff to the back of elite, but that's not my pick. So
I put Stafford there before Goff.
I'm just saying with the completion percentage, the stats, the record we working hard to go against him. But
go ahead, Ty. I made my pick already. I ain't even gonna waste time.
CJ is still great to me.
Where would you put him?
Probably
towards the end. I appreciate
towards the end, though.
No one's gonna disagree with this.
Just based off of his regular season numbers, but what I saw from that playoff game yesterday made me be like, maybe we're overreacting. I'll put him. Damn, Baker did have a good season, but Baker's still trapped. I don't know.
He doesn't have an offensive line either.
Yeah, put him behind Love.
I'm not mad at that. Clips, you got Anthony Richardson.
He's mid.
Yo, what the? Yeah, I'm getting all these
trash.
Ace thinking about Watson from Texans days. LOL.
I'm throwing Anthony Richardson in mid, bro. I just the reason I'm giving him leeway just because he hasn't played a lot of football for real. Like in his whole life, in his whole college to football, he hasn't played a lot. I'm just gonna throw him in mid for right now.
Musa, we can switch if you want to, man.
Yeah.
Nah, it's fine. Mahomes that's not gonna take long. Aiden O'Connell's.
Yeah, let me just get Mahomes, man. This is easier for me.
Lawrence? That ain't.
No, I got Trevor Lawrence, right?
I got Trevor Lawrence.
I put him at the top of mid. Yeah, actually, I'll put him behind Kyler. I'm not gonna do that.
I don't think he's been better than Darnold this season, tape wise and stats. But Ace, you got my homeboy.
The top of great. Put him in elite. You can put him in whatever. It don't matter. Well, put him in the top. I guess he's been winning the Super Bowls, right?
He's done. He's
going for
that for right now.
It's right next to his kids.
Hey.
Well, to be fair, Mike, he plays the defense. He don't play the but you're
right. I got Aiden O'Connell.
Trash.
No, he's in mid. He's been better than Trevor for sure. I gotta put him right there.
What?
What? Let me explain. Yo,
you hate Trevor Lawrence or something, bro?
He's been better than Trevor Lawrence.
At what, bro? He played like a total of 3 games, bro.
Trevor Lawrence, he played more than 3 games.
Minshew was starting majority of the season.
Yeah, he was injured then, though, too.
He played more than 3 games, but Trevor was not that good this year, bro. But all right, I'll put him here. If I'll be honest, if I'll be fair, because I don't think he's been better. I think he's been better than Trevor, but he wasn't better than Kurt or Sam. So because of that, I'll put him there in between Brock. Ty, you got Gardner Minshew.
Trash. I don't care where you put him. Trash.
Just don't put him behind Daniel Jones. That's all the Ace is going to ask.
Clips, you have Justin Herbert. If you let Mike tell it, Chad Pennington's better than Justin Herbert.
Yo, Justin Herbert, I told y'all the Chargers was all right. I told y'all y'all had the Jags better than the Chargers.
They should have been better than the Chargers.
Woulda, coulda.
Justin Herbert is great, bro.
You make it seem like the Jags just had nobody on that team. They should have been better, especially in that division. But I'll give credit to the Chargers.
Throw him over Jordan Love. He better than Jordan Love. Yo, I ain't gonna
CJ Stroud.
Yeah, this season, yeah. Jordan Love was not better than CJ Stroud this year. I'm just being for real.
Jordan Love got a playoff win though.
When Jordan Love was healthy, I think he was better than CJ Stroud.
That was crazy, bro.
CJ Stroud got 2 playoff wins.
We're going off this year though, and I think
what did Justin Herbert just do in the playoffs? 4 interceptions. Come on, guys.
Yeah, Jordan
Love was at the end of the game when it didn't matter, but I think Herbert is better than Hurts. If I'm being honest.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
We got the next pick.
You said wait, what?
I think Justin Herbert this season was better than Jalen Hurts. But it's interchangeable, so that's what I'm like. I'm not going to sit here and try to argue that. But, phone call. I just said some bullshit. Mike, you have. Oh, this is perfect. You got your boy Tua.
Yeah, really, he's no different than Derek Carr or Dak Prescott, but I can't put Anthony Richardson over him. Just put him in between Brock Purdy and Anthony Richardson.
Look who I'm gonna end up with. This is so disgusting. Ace, you got Jacoby Brissett, Ace. I'll help you with this.
He's a backup. He ain't a starter.
He did start, but I got Aaron Rodgers right there. Trash.
Ooh.
Ty, you got Russell Wilson.
You could put him at the top of mid.
I'll tell you, Revival, that was something.
Clips, if you would like to trade with Mike, you can. Let Mike get his boy Will Levis.
Nah, I want Drake May.
Clips got Will Levis. Mike got. Yo, what the fuck? Nah, I'm keeping Drake May. That's the best quarterback I got all tier list.
Yeah, we could trade. We could trade if you want.
I don't care. I'll put whoever wherever. But
wait. Who I got?
You got Caleb Williams.
He had
Mike has Will Levis right now. Oh, I'm sorry. You have Will Levis. My bad. Yeah, Clips, you got Will Levis. Mike has Caleb Williams.
Will Levis is trash as hell.
Where?
But he puts mayonnaise in his coffee.
Yo, you got to put him next to Daniel Jones and all of them. He's worse than Daniel, bro. I ain't gonna hold you.
Nah.
He's worse than Daniel, bro. He's worse than Daniel. I got him at the end. I ain't gonna hold you. I'm taking Jacoby over him too.
Nah, see, that's where you might lose me. Nah. Yeah. Nah.
Jacoby's had some good games in his career. Will Levis, name him.
Will Levis has some good games.
Last year.
Name them.
Name them.
I don't watch the Titans. I just seen the stats.
So how you know
when they won? Because he was on a little streak with him and what's the dude name? Westbrook Akine, yeah, they was balling a couple games and they won those games. But so he had some good games, but I'm not mad at Daniel Jones' part because Daniel Jones had good games too. I think all of these quarterbacks had good games, but this season, Will Levis is right where he belongs, I guess. I wouldn't put him any higher, so I agree with you, Clips. Mike, you got Caleb.
Yeah, we'll put him in. We're gonna put him in trash, but it's because of the situation. I think he can get out of there. But we'll put him. I gotta put Aaron Rodgers above Caleb. be honest with you.
Oh, Lord have mercy. Where everybody at now? Y'all was talking to me about some damn Will Levis. He got Aaron Rodgers above Caleb Williams. Well, everybody quiet as hell now. Ain't that some shit? Mm-hmm. Ace, you got Jaden Daniels.
Oh, great.
At the top?
Nah, you could decide that. I just put him up there. Great.
Where y'all want to put?
I ain't gonna hold you. I'm throwing him in elite.
I think Stafford's better than Daniels.
Elite's kind of crazy. I thought we got to pump the brakes on him. Put him in elite already.
Matthew Stafford and Jaden Daniels are elite quarterbacks.
I'm still putting
standing
Goff
on.
in elite.
I'm standing on Stafford.
I think I wouldn't be. To clarify, obviously, elite quarterbacks is like the top 10. So sure, I wouldn't be mad if you think they're elite. I just think there's a clear gap when it comes to elite between the four that's in there and the next.
Goff isn't in that category in elite though.
I don't think Goff is
two.
elite. Goff's not elite.
Hold up. So his stats says he is, but he's not. He had more completions, a higher percentage, and more yards than some of the elite quarterbacks up there now. Granted, we know that Lamar Jackson is different. He's a quarterback / running back. Goff threw for more yards. Goff threw more yards than all those other quarterbacks up there.
Yeah,
that's not part of it. You have to actually get the completions there. Yeah, he has a good defense, but that's not his fault. Offense, he got to put the ball in the end zone.
Look at the receivers Josh Allen's working with and who Jared Goff's working with.
Hey, they don't choose where they go. Just like when we talk about other sports in their situation.
Jared Goff has David Montgomery, Jahmyr Gibbs, Sam Laporta, Jamo, and you have Amon-Ra.
Justin Patrick.
But he ain't someone to really name. But yeah, for sure, if you want to throw him in the mix. Josh Allen has James Cook.
Shakir is his number one option.
And if you want to name Kincaid or Knox, sure. But they're in the back end of the Titans in the top 10 by default. Joe Burrow, I'm not gonna argue weapons with Joe Burrow. He got two number ones on his team, so I'm not gonna argue that. Lamar has Derrick Henry. And if you still want to name Mark Andrews, which I probably would.
Zay Flowers too.
I'm not naming Zay Flowers. And I like Zay Flowers. He ain't a one. Zay Flowers is not a one receiver. You get a one, Zay Flowers is better in the slot. If we're being honest, he's perfect for the slot. And then Mahomes has just Kelsey, who's clearly not the same Kelsey. So yeah, Goff probably has the best weapons out of the collective group, if I'm being honest. But which is hard because Chase clears a lot of them dudes anyway. But I don't think he's an elite quarterback when it comes to the four in the top tier. Y'all can always disagree with me too. Y'all can chime in. But the top four at the top, Stafford, Daniels, Herbert, Stroud, I don't think he's better than those guys.
I think it's cool where he is.
Next, I have Drake May.
Do the right thing, Musa. Come on. Guys, one win.
At the bottom of mid, only because he's better than Anthony Richardson. I think he's been better.
I don't think they're much different.
I think he's been better than Tua this year too. But
he has comparable stats to Davis Mills' rookie year, so that's up to you.
But it's also he didn't play the full season.
He has one win.
If we're going to be fair, he didn't play the full season. So
he's got more turnovers than touchdowns.
Yeah. Still didn't play the full season. And he played. We were talking about weapons.
So you really would have set a record then for turnovers if you played the full season. Then, correct?
Look at the weapons he has compared to
Doesn't matter. He can't hit him.
It does matter. Look at his old line. It does matter. You can't get the ball to nobody if you ain't got no time to throw the ball. Or if you ain't got no weapons, like receivers that can't create separation.
Got tiny hands and can't hold on to the ball. You can't get it to him either.
I'm glad you didn't get Drake, man.
It's utter garbage.
Ty, it's on you. You have JJ McCarthy. I think we could just put him. He's not trash because he hasn't played, but you can't put him nowhere else.
Yeah, you can't put him anywhere else.
So he has an asterisk. And Clips, you ended up with Bo Nix.
Mid for right now. I'll put him like right between Russ and them. He had some showings, but nothing to judge great off of.
And here's our quarterback tier list for this season at this point of the postseason as well. Also, you have some outliers because we know Burrow is what Burrow is, despite his team not making the playoffs. Question for you guys. We know these will be the top 4 quarterbacks, not in order because people have their opinions. Who will be the next 6 to be in the top 10? Like who will be at 5?
Stafford, Jaden.
So 5, 6.
Yep.
CJ for sure.
7.
Probably Herbert.
8.
Actually, I put Goff and Mayfield over Herbert.
I think Goff's a top 10 quarterback. I don't
put Goff. And then
so Hurts at 10.
Yeah. And then on the cusp, like players that's like
Love
and
Baker.
Yeah.
Trevor, Purdy, 2 of those guys.
But shout out to all the quarterbacks under 25, under 30. All the, you know what I mean? They're all the elite quarterbacks under 30, man. You know.
We got to remember though. Look at all the guys we got down in the mid and trash who had the same hot starts that these guys did. So we just got to hope that they keep the same pace up.
Yeah,
for sure. But here's our tier list for the quarterbacks. Make sure you leave a comment down below. Let us know your thoughts on the quarterback tier list. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. We have another comment from Peso. Peso said, "Love Baker CJ is better than Herbert in my opinion."
I agree.
I love Jordan Love. I just don't.
He not. I'm sorry, bro. Jordan Love is not better than Justin Herbert, bro.
I think there's a conversation for that more than Baker. CJ, I think is better than Justin, but there's a conversation that could be had for Herbert. I will still put Herbert over Love though, and I think I'm the highest on Jordan Love here, but I wouldn't put him over Justin yet, even though he got more playoff wins. If we want to go there, but
I'm pretty high on Love. He just needs to cut out the interceptions because there was an 8-game streak there this year, a 9-game streak where he had an interception every game, and that came back to bite him in the playoffs too. If he can get the interceptions under wrap, I think that'll put him above.
Man, when you turning the ball over at that rate, bro, you're not better than Herbert, bro.
You can't say that when Herbert just threw 4 picks.
Mayfield turns the ball over.
He threw more picks in one game he did all year. That's not an argument you can make right now.
You can get away with throwing picks. You just got to be able to get the points back quick and the yards back quick. And Mayfield's one of the few guys that can do that. And Jameis is another guy who can do that on the right thing. But this guy's like, you look guys like Drake May who can't get the points back after they throw the interceptions.
We talking about Drake May. He don't belong in this conversation yet. Mike, you are nasty. We talk about top 10. But I don't think Baker's a top 10 quarterback yet either. Baker does the same thing. Like, he's a gunslinger. He's going to throw the ball away and things like that.
I get what you're saying. He threw 4 picks in one game, right? But my man, he finished the season with
3 picks.
3.
Yeah, that's what we just said. He threw more picks in one game than he did all year.
Hey, that's one game. This nigga threw 11.
Hey,
11.
I mean, and he still got 1 more playoff wins. And they both been to the playoffs the same amount of times. Twice.
Oh, man. I don't know. I can't say
that. I said it all the time. If he didn't throw that pick at the end of the game last season against the Niners, they would have been in the NFC chip.
we got to look at the defenses too that the Chargers and the Broncos played compared to what the Packers played. There's a reason why both of them got into the playoffs and got whacked out badly immediately. They were very much products of their schedule this year, I think.
The Packers had to deal with Minnesota and Detroit twice a year this season, and those we know Detroit had the injuries on the defense, but they were still comfortable at the times that they played them. And Minnesota was really one of the best defenses in the league.
That's what I'm saying. The Packers went against stronger defenses than the
Yeah.
Chargers.
Yeah.
And when you look at what Herbert would love be throwing, you just question you just scratch yourself in the head like, why the fuck you throw that?
But another thing is it has a lot to do with his footwork, because you look at like Rodgers and Favre, how they do that jumping off the turf because of how at Lambeau the grass isn't even. When you do that on, say, for example, like just regular AstroTurf, you're going to fuck up your footwork, quite frankly. And that's what I think a lot of his picks come from, because they don't need to do that at every place they play.
That's fair. I think it's a conversation to be had. They both are great young quarterbacks. They got great arms. They're both mobile. Obviously, I think Herbert's more mobile. Love. They both made it to the playoffs twice. One has a playoff win. The other one hasn't won yet. So I think there's a conversation when you look at all of that and you look at the tape and what they're able to do on the field and how they're able to uplift their offenses.
One had a 28-point lead too.
Oh, the 20. Yeah, we not gonna do that, Mike. 27 and zip lead in law. Yeah, that's on him too. But it's also the defense. If we put more context, the defense didn't do well either. But yeah, that's
only scored 3 points in 3 quarters after that. So I don't know how much that's on the defense.
True. But moving right along, man, we're gonna get right into. We're gonna get ready to wrap up the show in a few. We're gonna get into our picks in just a moment, man. But who knows? We might have to leave that. Bring back this conversation, man. Who's the better quarterback, Herbert or Love? That's what we can definitely touch base on once the offseason comes around. But Mike, we're gonna do what we do best, man. We're gonna get into our picks for the week for tonight's games.
Yo, Peso, if you're watching, you cannot comment your pick if you want to, because I know I haven't got your picks yet. So,
well, we got a comment real quick before you go, Mike.
Go ahead.
Shout out to Jamal, man. Could the Commanders upset the Chiefs? If I could grow a third leg, a third foot, they have a chance. But no, in all seriousness, do they have a chance to upset the Kansas City Chiefs if they were to play in the Super Bowl? I'll let you hear you guys' thoughts first.
As I said earlier, it's their kicker that's going to hold them back. That's all I got to say on it.
Yeah, but the best thing about that is if they keep going for it on 4th down and keep getting it, they don't have to use their kicker.
And that means they keep
so that can be a recipe we can see, like Mike's point with the analytics. We can see just them literally just having 80+% on 4th down in each game. They were already number 1 in the regular season going for it on 4th. They're obviously number 1 in the playoffs going there on 4th. So if they could keep doing it and Daniels really picks up the first down almost every time, honestly, they can upset the Chiefs. But do I see it happening? I don't know.
Clips?
Say that one more time.
Do you think the Commanders could upset the Chiefs
in the Super Bowl?
That'll be the matchup.
Yes, the only reason, again, if they have a high 4th and 2, 4th and 3 succession rate, and they're able to keep that defense on the field, yes. But the reason why I say no is because Steve Spagnuolo, boy, he got that defense playing like lights out. So that'll be not lights out, but when they need key stops and things like that, he shows different looks to quarterbacks that may also favor in his favoring his and you know what I mean, like favoring his way basically, and the experience. But I would love to see Jaden McDaniels do it just because that boy is a star. Like he balls for real. So, but I personally think they could. It just all depends on, like I said, fourth downs. If they're gonna be continue go for the fourth down, or if they're gonna settle for points. And if Steve Spagnuolo doesn't make Jaden Daniels turn the ball over, that's the one thing that a lot of defenses really don't make him do is turn the ball over. He knows how to throw the ball away when it don't look appeasing or like nothing's open. So he knows how to manage the game very well. But he is a game. But I would say the Chiefs would win that matchup.
No, they don't have a chance to upset the Chiefs. The reason being, Mahomes is not going to be like Jared Goff and turn the ball over 4 times. That means your Jaden Daniels not going to get the same amount of chances to score in short fields, or the defense is going to get points like they did last night. So no, that's one of the reasons. 2, those 4th and 2s. They've been doing that all year, but to complete at an 80% rate is unlikely to happen against the Chiefs. Spagnuolo is going to do something that most DCs don't do as much, and they need to, as he does a lot of blitzing. So he's going to blitz Jaden Daniels to get him off his first reads and get him off filter, and they do really well against man coverage in the Chiefs. They're gonna try to blanket Terry Malone like they did with Nico, and they're gonna make the others try to beat you. And I think the Chiefs will do pretty well with that. And I also think one thing we touched on a little bit. The Commanders' defense is not that good. They can make plays in key moments, but I think against that Chiefs offense, with the way they be able to hold the ball and keep time of possession in their favor, I think that's going to be the recipe for them to beat the Chiefs. If they were to make it to the Super Bowl and beat the Commanders, I'm sorry. If they were to get to the Super Bowl and play the Chiefs.
I was going to say, I'm going to push back on 2 of those points because Daniels, he does better against the blitz than he does good against both blitz and man, but he excels against the blitz. So I don't think
he hasn't done that. He hasn't seen it against the Chiefs, and that's the reason why I said the Chiefs particularly, because he does well against the blitz. But something about what Spagnuolo is able to scheme up is he blitzes and allows the back end to still be in great coverage and not give up the big play. Now, to your point, to offset that will be him being mobile with his legs and being able to beat the blitz with his legs, like Mahomes does. But that's what I do agree with you. He does great against the blitz.
And then the thing about their defense too, like I know everyone's saying the Commanders they shut down Tampa other than Mike Evans last week to hold them to 20 points. Like everyone's saying the Ravens defense is fixed. I think the Commanders defense is much better than the Ravens.
The Bucks, Mike?
Yeah, Baker can throw the ball downfield. So can the Lions. And look what happened when the Lions tried to throw it downfield last night. They got interceptions. And other than the Evans-Lattimore matchup, they couldn't get anything on him. They couldn't run it with Bucky Irving. McMillan got shut down other than 1 catch. Cade Otton, what did he have? 1 or 2 catches. I have more faith in the Commanders' defense than I do the Ravens.
No, hell no. First and foremost, the Commanders don't. The Buccaneers offense is not the Chiefs offense. That's for one. 2, the Ravens defense is a lot better against the run.
The secondary's out of garbage, though.
The secondary, the corners, to be specific. Also, Humphrey hasn't been consistent at times. He's been in and out. Kyle Hamilton is one of the better safeties in the league. I will take Roquan at this stage over Bobby, but Bobby's still pretty damn good. I think he's one of the top leaders in tackles this year. But I just think when you look at who they had to play against, and I know Baltimore played Pittsburgh, so we can get that cat out the bag. Even though that's a divisional team, we know they have their slump to the back end of the season. I just don't think there's much to say about the Buccaneers game. Last night's game, yeah, they got the turnovers and stuff, but we talked about it earlier in the show. A lot of those throws that Goff did was more so on Goff, like just doing bonehead plays trying to force the issue. But that's neither here nor there. We have another comment, though. What happened to the Lions, and will they win a chip this decade?
They won this century. Come on, man.
Yeah, I don't. I don't think they'll win this decade, considering the NFC has to get better at some point, and with the AFC being so top heavy at quarterback, it's going to be tough. This loss is going to hurt them for sure, but I think they could come back better as a unit next season. I don't think they're going to be better record wise, but I think they because now they had dealt with it all. Like you lost the way you lost against San Fran. You ran through the NFL for most of the season, and you lost the way you lost last night. You've gone through all of these phases. My hope is they don't get burnt out like the Niners did at some point, So, anyone else? Do you think they'll win this decade? I know, Mike, you said no. They haven't won in a century.
I just want to ask you guys too, because you guys can, when you go, you can elaborate off this too. Do you think the Lions' window's actually closed? Because I don't think this necessarily, but a lot of people do. That Dan Campbell can't coach a lick, and it was all Glenn and Johnson. I'm not saying I think that, but I've just heard a lot of people think that. So do you think they're just gonna go back to the 3-win team they were, or are they still got the window open?
I think the Lions' window is open. Are they gonna win? Hell, they have their windows closing like exponentially. But it's still a window. You know what I mean? But do I see them winning? To be honest, the only way is if the Chiefs, like, let's say, God forbid, like Mahomes, knock on wood, was to ever get hurt, the Chiefs don't make the bowl. That's the only way possible. And they would have to go up against somebody that's inexperienced that hasn't been there. But yeah, no, I don't think so.
As long as Jared Goff is the quarterback, they are not.
I will say, if any of the years, and also you don't see the future.
This was the best year.
This was one of the years. I think
it doesn't get easier than this. Not to cut you off, Musa. It doesn't get easier than this.
Because I honestly think if they was playing the Chiefs in the Super Bowl, they would have whooped the Chiefs. And the reason why I believe that is because of the run game. And that was one of the only bright spots they had last night was the run game. And the way Joe Mixon was able to run against that defense, you plug in Gibbs and Montgomery with that O-line, shit. I think they keep Mahomes off the field. H read it early with the time of possession. If Houston had that time of possession, they still lost by 9. You give Detroit that time of possession, probably more because how they run the ball. I think they beat the Chiefs. But yeah, I think they still have a chance to come up. When I say no, it's mostly because of the Super Bowl game itself. I think they still have a window to get out the NFC because I think most of the key players are still under contract. And I will hopefully believe Goff doesn't have a 4-game turnover game every time they get to the divisional round moving forward, if they get to the divisional round, because records can change. Injuries do happen, but I don't think they will win the Super Bowl now in this decade. All right, but we're gonna get right into the picks for today's games.
All right. First game we're doing is Rams and Eagles. Eagles are -6.5. I'm taking the Rams +6.5. I was gonna take them straight up, but once I heard the forecast, I'm a little worried about the Rams. But I don't want to see the Eagles win.
Well, good thing the Eagles ain't winning, Mike. So Rams straight up.
I got Rams straight up also. I think, and I could be wrong, but it's just the Eagles offense did not move me last week, and that's concerning me because if the offense looks any similar to today, I don't think they're going to beat the Rams. I don't think the Rams defense is going to look like what they did last week either. To be
Mike, what's the spread?
6.5. Phillies -6.5.
Let me go Eagles straight up.
Then the only other game we got is I guess you can call it the MVP Super Bowl because probably whoever wins this game will get the MVP. Baltimore versus Buffalo. Baltimore's -1.5. I got Buffalo straight up. I think this game either goes one of two ways, where Baltimore's up at halftime and Josh Allen turns it on in the second half, or I think Buffalo just gets out to the lead and keeps the foot on the gas. One of the two.
Hold on, we got a comment first. Peso says he got Eagles straight up.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm going with. I've been saying
I know who you are. The king of the gawk flock. Is that what you were
Yo,
called
hey,
last time?
yo. Oh, Mike, I didn't know you had a name for that, man. You did pretty good on that. Did you?
No, it was remember the comment last time?
Oh, what? I don't remember. I don't recall. Nah, I remember that comment was crazy. And that's great. I don't like the Ravens. I just like Lamar Jackson.
I know. I'm just playing.
I know. That's why. That was my. Those were my words to the comment last. Was it last week? Yeah, that comment. Yeah, that person there, man. Interesting comments last week, bro.
I thought he was going to show up again this week after the Texans.
I was hoping to see him, man.
Yeah.
Hopefully, he leaves a comment at the end of the show, man. Well, if he's watching now, leave another comment. But
so
you want Ravens straight up?
You don't want a -1.5? Think they might only win by 1?
I don't think I ever took the points on any bet. I always go straight up.
Fair enough.
I'm going Buffalo straight up.
All right.
My dog don't even got trust in his boy Lamar.
Don't even. I love Lamar, bro. But
I'm gonna go Ravens straight up, but Ravens are still losing to the Chiefs next week.
See, now that makes me nervous because Ty hasn't been on all his picks, so that makes me nervous in picking the Ravens.
What a backhand.
Any week he's gonna be right, it's got to be this week. Peso also got the Bills straight up.
I want to go Buffalo. I was actually leaning Buffalo first, but I don't know. I think like Mike said, this is pretty much for the MVP. So I think they let Lamar beat Allen so they could be like, all right, this is a reason why he should win this MVP.
Mike, I'm flipping my pick. I'm going Eagles straight up.
All right, fair enough.
Reason being is it was reported about an hour ago the Rams and Eagles are expecting 2 to 4 inches of snow.
I heard 3 to 6, so it might actually be favoring
that. And them West Coast boys, they ain't used to weather. Most of them ain't used to that type of weather.
That's why I got Eagles straight up.
We'll go Eagles because of that. And Stafford's used to playing in the dome anyway. So
my question is though, who's wearing the white jerseys today?
They didn't. I just seen a picture, but they didn't have uniforms on. Saquon and them was just warming up.
Rams.
I got LJ Ravens, Lamar Jackson Ravens.
Because I was going to say, whoever's wearing those white uniforms in the snow, that can be an advantage for the camouflage too for defensive backs. But the only thing is it'll hurt the quarterback on the wide receivers. So I'm curious to see who's got the white unis on today.
The Rams is wearing them, and then he also another comment. He got Eagles straight up. Oh, we got an appearance now right before we end the show. My boy on the camera now. He all muted.
My fault. I was over there looking up something.
I'm still crying about that gawk flock comment. That's
crazy.
Yeah, it was just me and Mike a couple episodes ago, and then we had someone in the comments. He was just saying something. He or she, because we don't know based on the name. But at least I don't remember. They were saying some comments, boy. It was going crazy.
Wasn't there something like it was like the dude who hit the guy on hit Trevor Lawrence said he wasn't going to remember the Titans or something like that?
Oh yeah, something like that. Yeah, it was wild that day. But that's gonna pay to another comment. Y'all are wild for that.
That wasn't us.
Real quick,
that wasn't us. I'm just saying what the viewer said last week.
Real quick before we end the show, any wild takes you guys have? It don't have to be football either. It could just be anything when it comes to sports. Some wild takes before we close the show.
Like on what?
If you want to talk about next season for football, it could be anything like a wild.
And Daniels for MVP next season.
Yeah, great. After I have 100-1 ticket on him this year, 1 year too late.
Oh man, Ty, any crazy takes you got?
It's not even a crazy take, but if you're betting, take Saquon's under.
That's a fact. Take his under today.
Did we see what happened last week?
Take his under today, Nick. Take his under today.
Because I'm telling you, when he went for 250, and it was because the last game versus the Rams, and it was because 2 of his runs was for 70+ yards.
That's a fact.
It's not going to happen today. especially in the snow. He ain't running
Pacers
at
do
full
suck.
speed in
I
the
don't know
snow.
about the Celtics though.
Oh, they lost to Atlanta last night. That's why.
But they've been losing to Atlanta, so I'm not even surprised by that, honestly. And Mike said it a couple weeks ago. He's like, when we said the biggest threat to them, he said the Hawks. So that don't surprise me at all. Porzingis didn't play, but they had everyone else. But they're gonna do a little something. Joe Mazzulla loves it. That's why I love Joe Mazzulla. He's like, if anything, this is gonna make or break them. So we're gonna see. But Mike, what's your crazy hot take for?
I just want to go to Ty's point. Be careful on betting Saquon's unders. I know I sent it in the group chat last week. I had his over, and he was 2 yards short of it, and they could have taken 4 knees, and Sirianni runs it twice.
And say this, Saquon could have been over that run, that Russian prop you had too. If he didn't take the slide.
Well, no, he went over it on the play before that, but that I don't know. I find that very weird, so I don't know what's going on there, but 2 takes that I got maybe, and I'll just relate them to today. I'm curious to see if Amari Cooper finally shows up today, because they really haven't used him much this year. That would be probably about it. Yeah, just maybe if Keon Coleman could have a breakout game, because I'll be honest, if Buffalo doesn't attack that secondary just like Pittsburgh didn't last week, they're not going to win. They got to attack the secondary. I don't care how cold it is out.
A hot take for me.
James Cook's gonna have a big game today.
I don't think that's a hot take though. I think he can.
No. I was just saying.
In general, a hot take for me, I would say. What's something?
Rams to the Super Bowl.
Nah, not that.
Yo, that would be crazy.
A hot take for me, I'll say the Dolphins winning a division next
year. Right.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
That'll be one hot take for the AFC. NFC hot take, I would say the Cowboys.
No, you're not serious, bro. You're not serious.
Yeah, not the Cowboys. Actually, I was gonna say it can actually happen because I was saying that about the Commanders this year. I'm gonna say the Panthers winning the division will be a hot take for the NFC South.
How? That's the worst division in the league.
But I think Atlanta's gonna be better, and I think Tampa Bay will be better. So I don't think people will probably look at them, if not the Saints, as still the worst teams in that division.
Tampa Bay might lose Chris Godwin, so we'll see.
Jalen McMillan's coming up. They'll be okay.
Yeah. But that's going to conclude this week's episode, man. Everyone watching, we appreciate you watching. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. We're 7 subs away from 200. Leave a comment down below what you thought about our quarterback list, and leave a comment down below. Let us know what's your hot take right now, if you had to think of one. We'll see you guys next week on Wednesday. We're going to recap, of course, the national championship game, which is tomorrow night. Which actually, did we already pick? We picked that last week.
Yeah, we picked it on Wednesday.
We already picked it. Yep. So, and we'll see you soon for the next football show on Wednesday, and with basketball coming back up. So, we hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Stay warm, stay safe. We'll see you guys next week. Peace.
Peace.
Great.